Hi, welcome to the fourth episode of Indiscriminate Reasons. I'm your host, Diego, and my co-host, Anthony.
Hello.
And our man in the chair, our Ned, our Genki, our Jamie, DeAndre, say hello.
Hello.
Thank y'all for tuning in again for the fourth episode. If y'all are interested, you can support our Patreon down below where you can see bloopers if they happen, which a few did happen this episode coming around.
Some
my
stuff
short stories, yeah, my short stories are locked behind that as well. As among a few other things, we're currently trying to work out what we want to offer you. We don't want to just offer you, hey, get the episode a day early.
Yeah.
It's not really intriguing, not really interesting. We'd also really appreciate if you like, subscribe, and commented. I feel like a shill for asking that, but we'll put up pictures.
Because we're dirty shills.
Yeah,
we are
dirty
dirty shills.
We'll have DeAndre put up some pictures of cats or something to make you feel better about it while you're doing so. Starting off with what did we decide to do first?
The newest Blue Lock chapter. You said you wanted to go over that one.
Newest Blue Lock chapter.
Yes.
Yes, I really wanted to go over this one. So I will start off with a quick overview of the chapter. Since Blue Lock chapters recently have been pretty fast. It's kind of a lot of stuff packed into one.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off when we left off last time, which was Snuffy had just gotten possession of the ball, and they were trying out a different attack pattern. And this one is entirely crazy. Snuffy is forcing crosses across the field, which is making everybody have to run back and forth and prep to block the cross. While he is going into blind spots. Is going into the blind spots of the of Bastard's defense. And the only people who are able to stop him or even see him are Kaiser, Isagi, and Noah. Right as Snuffy gets into the first blind spot, Isagi spots him because he's Himsagi, but he's too far away to do anything, so he's just praying someone realizes. Luckily for us, the GOAT, the Emperor, Michael Kaiser, shows up and says the craziest line, but then gets absolutely dunked on. He turns to Snuffy and says, "I can see it, you shitty eagle-nosed bastard." And then Snuffy's like, "Bro, but you're only just seeing it, right?" Proceeds to, while having an arm on his chest, jump up and hit a perfect bounce header, which is crazy because I think Kaiser is like 6 foot.
Yeah.
6'2" or 6'1".
Kaiser's
He's
pretty tall.
He's pretty tall and lanky, and Snuffy's about his height. And so from what they're jumping, if they're about, he's jumping a good 3-4 feet while somebody's like holding him. It's pretty crazy to do what he's doing. And then Nico catches it, and then for the first time ever, we've never heard Noah talk crap to one of the younger Blue Lock members. He calls Nico a pipsqueak. That was funny and deserved because Nico's a pipsqueak.
Noah's kind of wild this chapter. I'm not gonna lie.
We're getting to see a different side of Noah.
Yeah,
and
it's completely different.
And Nico is like, "It's fine. It's all going according to Snuffy's design." And then Isagi, before Baro even has a chance to get his little meaty claws on it, he kicks it away, just showing you that Baro is nothing compared to Isagi. The normal.
Yeah, the basic stuff we've seen.
And Snuffy is Isagi is trying to work through what is going to allow him to get up to Snuffy's level. And then he realizes that Snuffy is making sure the rest of the team follows their tactics. He's almost like a watchman. He makes sure no one is out of order, no one's out of line. You all do the job you're given. And Isagi realizes this because he has metavision, Isagi himself is still moving selfishly for a goal. So for Snuffy, who's so focused on the entire field, on making sure everything is going according to plan, Isagi is a minor calculation for him in a way.
Yeah.
Like he's super easy to contain. He's not difficult. And then Isagi's mentor, Noah walks up and he's like, "Hey, Isagi Oichi, is it hard playing against Snuffy?" And then, of course, Isagi's like, "Yes." At this rate, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter, and then before he can even finish his sentence, we get on to my favorite part of the chapter, hands down, where Noah starts revealing Snuffy's playstyle. It's Jujutsu. Jujutsu is, if not like Jujutsu Kaisen, where you're sorcery fighting demons.
Not sorcery fight.
Yeah, not sorcery fight. Jujutsu. so it's the grandfather to like judo and jujitsu, and jujitsu, which I am a blue belt in jujitsu. So getting to see that's how his play style was. That's why he was able to jump whenever Kaiser had an arm on him. Whenever Isagi just felt he couldn't get near him. Why Baro felt like all these things make sense now. Whenever you go to mention that Snuffy's core play style and how he took his black belt experience and turned it into how to play soccer is really, really cool. Because you always go into a jiu-jitsu match, for example, with a game plan. Whether or not that game plan goes out the window, you go from game plan 1 to game plan 2 to game plan 3 until you're out of game plans and you just kind of got to wing it, which is where I think Ubers will be led to at the end, is that Isagi will push the Uber so far that Snuffy's like, okay, forget the plans, we have to improvise here, figure it out. While watching this is gonna give Bastard their own boost.
Yeah.
And so Noah's explaining everything to him. He mentions that like his hold up plays and his ball retention skills become even more refined in the close combat. And I think that is very cool. Then we get the greatest panel in history I've ever seen before, where Isagi is like, Noah's like, dude, in terms of just being a better player, like, I'm the better striker, but as just a better all-around person, like a just better player, Snuffy is the best player in the world, hands down, as an all-arounder.
Yeah. Kind of like a
his
Rayo.
football IQ is off the charts.
Kind of like Rayo.
Yeah. It's almost like a Rayo, except for if Rayo was cool.
Except for
I'm just
Rayo
kidding.
was
I'm
cool.
kidding.
That's
I'm
wild.
kidding. I like Rayo.
That's
I like Rayo a
insane.
lot. You just have to slander everybody that isn't the Isagi and Noah, dude. You have to. Isn't that how it works? Then Isagi
Except for
is
Kaiser.
Like, how are we gonna?
You gotta meet Red
except for
Kaiser.
Yeah, gots to. Isagi's like, how are we gonna defeat him? And then Noah with the most one punch man, Saitama blank face, not knowing. He's just like, no clue. And Isagi's like, well, where's the cold logic and rationality? What happened to verbalizing your thought process? He's like, I don't know.
I don't know what to do, dog.
He's like, that's not. He's like, it's not my fault. Y'all aren't. Sometimes the logical way is being patient. And then Isagi starts doing the puzzle piece.
He starts cooking once again. He starts cooking, and then he perception blitzes Noah. This is a joke. I should quote. You should have made that joke.
Myself.
You should not make that joke.
Yeah.
People are gonna take that seriously.
Yeah, people are gonna take that very seriously. Noah's like, hey, stop spacing out to Isagi, and by the time he says that, Isagi's already running towards the ball, which is being thrown in by the Ubers, and then he yells for Aichi. Raichi turns around all mad because you know where Aichi is, and then he says the coldest line I think we've heard yet. Are you willing to die?
Are you willing to die is wild. It is a soccer game, buddy. It is a football game. Are you ready to die is like, alright, chill, bro.
Like, what are you doing?
What you mean die?
Like, what do you mean? It was quite a crazy line to say. It's beginning to make me really scared for everyone else who's not Isagi.
Yeah.
Because this level of growth that Isagi is having is next to none. Like,
it's insane.
Rin maybe has this in his berserker form. Shido maybe has this when he's in perfect goal sense, but this level of evolution is like untouched. Like no one else in the verse is evolving nearly as fast as Isagi is. And I get it, we haven't seen Shin, Rito, or Karasu, but I mean, I think it's just kind of going to. I think it's just.
You said Karasu like he's actually gonna do anything.
Well, that's crazy. That's a crazy notion.
Here's the thing. I like Karasu. I like him.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy, cool character. But we've already seen when it comes to those characters that aren't like the main characters, like Chigiri or even Aiku Like Aiku has kind of been put in the background of this entire game. Like if you're not one of those main guys, you're like you might be improving, but you're not gonna be like featured that much. So I don't even think Kurasu's gonna like he might pop up in the first couple of chapters like Aiku did, but like in this next game, whenever we get it, like he isn't gonna do that much.
Probably not. I do think that he will be super key to Shin and Rito though.
Probably. That's not too far fetched.
I guess when I think one of my theories was that the way that Loki gets Shin and Rito to work together is by making Karasu make them work together, and maybe not in a make them work together kind of way.
But like kind of be that middleman for them.
I mean, yeah. So have y'all seen how Karasu plays? I mean, he analyzes and picks out and like moves the field to how he wants it to be moved because he's like a ninja guy. I forgot what his title was, or Karasu the Crow, or something like that.
I haven't seen him in a while.
He basically picks out the weakest link and then kind of makes that weak link not work very well.
Yeah.
And so I can see him forcing Shido and Rin to work together by opening up a weak link and giving them their opening. So they only, there's gonna be a fun way that they work together. They have to.
I also kind of like this like chess match that's almost forming with like the top guys, cause like Noah has no idea how to deal with Snuffy. Like bro just doesn't know. Like straight up, just like
that's a crazy line to hear out of your master. I apologize. Sorry, I had a work text.
Nah, but it's kind of like how in like I know specifically this with basketball, but like how LeBron will say like the hardest guy to play. Like I don't know what to do with him. Like you might name like Steph or something, but like he'll say like I don't know what to do with him. If we are playing at the same time, I have no clue what to do with bro. It's kind of like that. Like even though Noah's the top player, the number one striker, he isn't all knowing in terms of how to deal with every master striker.
Yeah, it's just being the number one doesn't always mean like I mean he even
says like he might be the number one striker, but he isn't the number one player.
Yeah, I can read it bar for bar, bro. Thanks. Listen. Like man goes core training, biomechanics, close combat. Snuffy incorporated the principles of jujutsu and fused them with football. Thanks to jujutsu, Snuffy's already world-class hold-up plays, ball retention skill became even more refined. Not to mention his passing and scoring. Strictly from a striker's perspective, I'm stronger than Snuffy. And think about it. Snuffy is not ambidextrous. Snuffy isn't a robot. Snuffy doesn't have that like logical cutting up of the field. But he can do so much. He doesn't need to be where Barrow is. He could easily play in Barrow's spot, but he can just as easily play in midfielder. He can just as easily get to those blind spots. He can just as easily hold up the ball in the midfield.
Like Snuffy can play literally every position.
Every position.
And the more we learn about Snuffy, the more I'm just like, this is just like fully realized Rayo. Like this is just Rayo, but like actually though.
And I also love how so many like of the characters went to places you wouldn't have expected them to go.
Yeah.
Like let's be honest. Like if Rayo would have gone with Snuffy to Ubers,
do you think
Rayo would have been unstoppable?
The monster Snuffy would have created out of him.
Rayo would have been unstoppable, but that's not what Rayo wanted.
Yeah,
that's not.
Like just thinking about the monster Snuffy would have made Rayo is actually kind of insane, because they just are the same player, like pretty much the same player. But it's crazy. This chapter is wild. And this next chapter is gonna be even more wild because you whenever Isagi starts putting something together, the next chapter is about to be something crazy.
When he has that like weird half grin and he says a cold line like, "Are you willing to die?" Like, what,
bro?
What are we doing?
What are we playing? Are we playing football? Is this football anymore?
Are we fighting for our lives?
Is this considered football anymore, or are we just actually going to war? Cause like if we're actually going to war, I don't know if I want to be in a bastard jersey no more. I don't know if I want to do that.
I do. I want to run up to Ness and just across his face. You know what I'm saying?
If we going to war, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to take Chris Prince.
I'll fight Chris Prince.
I don't know if you want to do that. That's
I'll fight that man child. I'm gonna be like, Chris, look at camera. He's look away and kick him in the balls. So you wouldn't tell me that wouldn't work. Chris, look at camera. What? Boom! Right there. It's done.
Fair enough.
I don't know how to like bait anybody else. Levinho doesn't really.
The only one I really don't want to fight, like the only master I would never want to even be in the same room with is Snuffy. You telling me he got a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and is the best soccer player all around in the world? Nah, you got it, bro. You got it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't want to touch that shit with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna try and put the guy in under over ties. He's just flying armbar me, bro.
For real.
Nah, I'm good.
Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen. I want to move on to Jujutsu Kaisen now. The new chapter of Jujump Kaisen.
Oh,
not a lot of jumping going on.
Someone else said something that I didn't think about.
What?
And it's that Noah has begun to talk to Isagi more and more and more, and like the face he gave him and him telling Isagi only, I don't know what we're gonna do, goes to show the trust he has in his mentoree, like his younger now, like
mentee, brother.
Isagi, like mentee.
Yeah, that's the word. It's literally mentee.
Yo, Jamie, can I get a definition proof on this?
The word mentee.
Can I get a Google
spelled
on this, please?
Mentee.
Can I get a Google on this? Man is watching TikToks on this.
Watching TikToks. I have the definition right here. You want me to read it off?
Sure. I would have wanted the fair outside neutral party to read it off, but he's busy watching TikTok.
A person who is advised, trained, or counseled by a mentor.
I don't believe it. I'm looking it up.
I swear to God. Mentee. Look it up. I feel like this is a pretty basic word to know. I'm not sure why my co-host here doesn't understand that word.
I've never heard that word before in my life, and I'm a walking thesaurus.
Bro said mentoree.
I don't know. I've never listen. I've never had to be below somebody. I'm just me, bro. What's with it? I'm him. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I've had to learn a lot in my life. But I like the trust that Noah seems to be having.
The growing trust is nice to see.
With his pupil, because it just feels like no one's ever been on Isagi's side that's older, except for Ego. Ego has
like, been nurturing this man for a minute now.
Yeah, and what's crazy to me is people don't realize it, that at a certain point he was like, the rest of you are failures. Like none of you are doing what none of you are doing what the project set out for Isagi.
At a certain point,
so like everything
it just became Isagi is what Ego was looking for.
Yeah. Like oof. Okay, on to Jujutsu Kaisen.
On to Jujutsu Kaisen. So we got chapter 227 here. Picks up right after the last chapter, after Gojo sent Sukuna flying into his own shrine. And we're just getting a bit more backstory. Like, Yuta is in an absolute panic at this revelation.
Man is like,
Yuta's shitting bricks that Gojo's using reverse curse technique to heal his exhausted curse.
Someone needs to edit that picture. That meme of the black guy. That needs to be Yuta right now. Yuta
That
season
is
will
Yuta
recover,
right
bro.
now, bro. But Yuta then goes into a bit more detail, saying a curse technique that has been burnt out by using domain expansion is an entirely different matter than physical damage. Just like when a machine overheats, even if it isn't broken, you have to let it cool down or it won't work. And this is cut in by Maki and a couple other characters, just kind of like asking for a bit more explanation on like why he can even do that. But then we cut back to Gojo and Sukuna. Gojo says, "You can expand your effective range, can't ya?" Also, that word, can't ya? I love that. And then, the instant Sukuna expanded the range of his malevolent shrine to its maximum, Gojo expanded his domain once more, saying, "Let's take this from the top." And for a little bit longer than the first time this happened, his domain, Gojo's domain, isn't breaking. So it means that the barrier Gojo created can guard itself from attacks on the outside, and he actually just made that change because it's Gojo. He can kind of just make that change, I guess. But then they start boxing. They start absolutely boxing, and we find out that Sukuna is using domain amplification at the same time as domain expansion. So they're both just growing at insane speeds, at insane levels. So we get a bit more explanation on what domain amplification is. Again, if you're not aware, while using domain amplification, you cannot use the innate technique etched into your body. Once a curse technique is granted to a domain, it's a whole new ball game. So now they start boxing a bit more, and then Sukuna.
Man, I'm so excited to just.
And then Sukuna turns off his sure hit technique, his sure hit effect in his domain. So then we cut to Kenjaku saying the only ones unaffected by Infinite Void are Gojo himself and anybody who directly touches him. So, in order to destroy Gojo's domain from the outside, Sukuna expanded his effective range and increased the power of his binding vow even further than he did in Shibuya. Using a binding vow, Sukuna managed to further increase the power of his domain outside of Gojo's domain by removing its sure hit guarantee inside of the domain, while simultaneously keeping himself safe from Infinite Void by touching Gojo directly. So,
cool.
Sukuna basically just said, you know what? Screw the sure hit technique, the sure hit effect. I'm going to turn that off because every domain has a binding vow on it where if you're using the sure hit effect, in exchange, your curse technique within that domain dips in power a little bit. So, to kind of just mitigate that, he just says, whatever. I'm just not going to use it then. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to not use it. Making his slashes stronger and destroying Gojo's domain once again. And then we return to Gojo getting slashed up. Few different reactions.
I think people tend to take real quick. If you're reading this or if you're watching this after and you didn't notice this, Kenjaku isn't telling Sukuna to touch Gojo.
Yeah, no.
Sukuna's just remembering the first time he was in Yuji's body and saw the domain expansion and realized that Yuji wasn't affected because Gojo was touching him.
Yep.
And so he's just like, I wonder if I touch him if I get the same way. It worked out exactly.
You can even see that in the background of while Kenjaku's talking. It literally just shows the panel from when Gojo first showed off his domain expansion of him holding Yuji.
Yep.
But, so Gojo's domain gets destroyed once again. We got a few different reaction panels, and Kashimo then says, if he dies, I'm going out there next. Don't try to stop me. But then we cut back to the fight, and we realize that Gojo's wounds are shallow. And he just simply says, I learned this one when I was a kid, haven't used it much since I had the domain. And we find out about the falling blossom emotion.
Like, man is just using falling blossom and what?
He's just pulling stuff out. Like, at this point, Gojo is just pulling stuff out. He's just doing stuff.
Dog has hammer space, but for jujutsu techniques.
Not for real. He just knows every jujutsu technique there is. But then we get a little explanation. It's a secret art of the big three sorcerer families, an anti-domain technique. It's application of cursed energy that automatically repels anything you touch. So it doesn't really work for things that are a bit more complicated, like Infinite Void, but for things that are just like simple, like Sukuna slashes, it'll force them to become more shallow. But it isn't all that strong because it can't compete against an actual domain, especially not one that's as complete as Sukuna's.
Or even just Infinite Void with the infinite amount of knowledge. There's probably
that's what I just said. It doesn't work on things like Infinite Void.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it has a way of bypassing it. Nothing's really touching you. Infinite Void kind of just shoves knowledge in your head. So
yeah.
But then Gojo decides to expand his domain once again, making it absolutely massive. And then he shrinks it. He shrinks it so that it's tiny. I can't really pull up the picture, but remember the crater where Sukuna's malevolent shrine was first destroyed? It is like, I want to say like maybe 1% the size of that entire crater.
It's like a basketball in the middle of like a crater.
It's literally a basketball in the middle of a crater, and that is where we leave off the chapter.
No idea what he's gonna do.
No idea what it does. No idea why he did that, really. Realistically, if I had to guess, basically what he did was constrain the space of the fight. Constrain the space of how far Sukuna can put out Malevolent Shrine. So he can't slash it from the outside anymore. Because when Gojo first uses domain expansion for this, he covers the entirety of Malevolent Shrine. And we already know that Malevolent Shrine right at this moment is bigger than it was in Shibuya.
Massive.
So this is massive. He makes a giant fucking barrier for his domain expansion.
Yeah.
And then shrinks it all down. So my theory on this is that he's basically constraining Sukuna in his fight into that tiny space so that Sukuna cannot expand Malevolent Shrine and attack from the outside of the barrier anymore. Which means next chapter is hands. It is just hands. They are going to be throwing hands.
I want haymaker after haymaker after haymaker, bro. I want Gojo to bounce Sukuna's head off the side of his domain, bro. It's like dunk, 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 dunk. Just
the head off the side of the domain.
He's doing the speed bag, bro. Just speed bag with Sukuna's head. He's like, ah. And that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, bro. I need that expeditiously, bro.
I need that expeditiously.
I need to see Sukuna get the hands put on him, bro.
No, but now I want to.
Sukuna fan. Also, y'all Sukuna fanboys gotta be reading a whole different manga than I'm.
Not for real.
Because Sukuna's just using his domain. And he's like, wait, no, that should have worked. Oh no, he countered it. Gotta try something. Oh no, that didn't work. Like everything Sukuna is trying isn't working. But I also don't want to say this. Let me knock on some wood. I don't want to say this. And then next chapter, bro, Sukuna's just like, yeah, I was kidding. I was just warming up.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is that while I think Gojo's still gonna win this fight, Sukuna hasn't brought out 10 Shadows yet. Like, yes, he's been spamming his domain, but Sukuna just hasn't used 10 Shadows at all. And 10 Shadows, like...
Honestly, I think before he can even... I don't think 10 Shadows is going to work here, because before he can even, like... Let's say he goes to cast Maharaga, right? He puts his hands out. The moment
I'm not even talking
Sukuna
about
puts his hands out... it's over.
I'm not even talking about summoning anything. Because remember, 10 Shadows doesn't... it's not just summoning. You can literally hide in shadows. You become a shadow. Like, yes, Gojo can teleport, but in effect, with 10 Shadows, technically, Sukuna kind of can too. So, like, 10 Shadows doesn't just allow you to summon Shigami. You can store yourself within shadows. So it is actually applicable in close combat, and that's what I'm saying Sukuna has not used yet. Like, he hasn't even tried anything regarding that. He hasn't even tried using the summoning too, but like you said, if he tries to do summoning, he has to stop putting he has to stop fighting for a second.
The moment he gets in that crouch position and puts up his two hands on Maharaga, Gojo's speed blitzing him and taking his head off. Like, there's that stop.
Even if he doesn't
chant.
Even if he doesn't speed blitz him, he still has to stop for like a considerable amount of time in terms of this fight. And Gojo's just, even if Sukuna reacts to it, he's gonna stop summoning. So it doesn't even matter if Sukuna gets hit or not. He'll have to stop summoning.
Yep. Like, it's not feasible for him to do so.
So I don't think he's ever gonna.
Much to this chapter.
I don't think he's ever gonna summon. I think I feel like he should start using the more tricky side of Shadow Garden, but these things. This chapter.
Listen, I think this fight is gonna go on for much longer than we think it is.
Yeah, because this fight has already gone on for so much longer than I thought it would.
Well, have we had another fight besides?
No.
I guess no. Mahito versus Yuji went on for like 12 plus chapters.
That's true, but there was also some other shit going on the side of it.
Fair enough.
So we weren't just getting Mahito versus Yuji. This is just Sukuna versus Gojo, with everybody else also watching from the side.
Yep.
Like, every other character has been sidelined so hard by these two titans.
Listen, I just need next week's chapter.
I kind of just want Gojo to pull out something crazy. Like, not crazier in the sense of, like, he hasn't done crazy shit already. But, we've seen his curse technique, like, I want to say, like, 2 or 3 times during this entire fight. This fight's going on for a decent length of time. We've only seen his curse technique, like, a couple of times. Because Sukuna's just laying it on thick.
Like, just gay. Why? Why did you think you could set the bar this high?
Bro, how is any other fight gonna compare? How is any other fight gonna, like...
I don't know.
Cause, like...
I got no clue for you. What are you... Hey.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Help me.
Help
me. Oh, here he is. Not when you want to research Mentee, but here he is to say help.
When I needed you to Jamie, whenever he hears help, he's here. He's here.
My fault. That's wild. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Anyway, that's JJK.
We are saving Chainsaw Man for next week because I haven't read it.
Well, potentially we'd have... Actually, we might have 2 Chainsaw Man episodes next week. But next week's a special episode anyway.
Oh.
Next week is a very special episode.
You know what? We will talk about that at the end.
Yes, we will.
Probably should have talked about it at the beginning. We'll talk about that.
I'm just teasing it for now.
Yeah. Is there much else to talk about?
I mean, I guess we can just like cover real quick that there's going to be a Jujutsu Kaisen fighting game coming out. I'm not getting it. He's not getting it. I'm assuming it's going to be bad. I hope I am wrong in that assumption.
It looks identical to the Demon Slayer fighting game that just came out. I'm not a big 3D arena. anime fighting guy. I like Tekken. We like Tekken. We like Tekken a lot, but that's not Tekken.
I like those types of games, but that is also because I am a huge Storm fanboy.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just another Ninja Storm.
Like
it's just like another Ninja
Storm. Oh my god, I could go on about Storm for a minute, but we're not getting that game.
Storm is good.
We're not going to be playing that game.
Yeah, not gonna be playing that. We have Street Fighter and other things.
Yeah.
When are people gonna realize that people don't want Storm games? They want Dragon Ball.
I want Storm games in the sense of I literally just want Storm games. Like I want Naruto Storm games. I do not want like Jujutsu Kaisen versions of Storm games. If you want to make a Jujutsu Kaisen game, honestly, make that shit 2D or make it like a Tekken type deal.
Dog, make it 2D or like a Tekken, but like your super arts or your domain expansion or like their maximum technique. And you can have different kind of fighters. I don't put Gojo in the game. You're not gonna have a fun time ever balancing Gojo. Just don't.
I feel like that's a losing. Actually, you know what? Don't make a Jujutsu Kaisen fighting game. First of all, just don't make a Jujutsu Kaisen fighting game because you're never gonna be able to balance out Gojo, in a way that people find satisfying and he's not too broken. And you're not going to be able to get away with not putting Gojo in. You're just not going to get away with it.
If you made like a PvE game,
I can see it. You want to
make
make a story game, like based in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe? I can see it. I can see it. Have a couple Gojo levels, make people feel strong and shit.
I can't see a Storm like.
Oh no!
A Storm like Jujutsu Kaisen game is just not.
I can't see it being good.
That's the new term. We're just gonna call it Storm likes. Like you know how it's like we have like Souls
likes.
Like Souls likes. Yeah, this is just Storm likes, and I don't want any more Storm likes for any of my anime series. Please. Yeah. I beg of you.
Unless you're making an actual Storm game, please do make another Storm game. They are very fun.
You don't have.
No, to. Make another Storm game. I want to play another Storm game. But but yeah, that's pretty much it for the week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And like a couple esports things. I guess I can quickly touch on.
You want to touch on the OWWCL or whatever? Yeah,
Overwatch World Cup. We could also touch on the Valorant Tokyo. Valorant Masters Tokyo just happened. Fnatic won.
I don't know anything about what happened.
He doesn't play Valorant. I do.
I don't play Valorant.
I do. It's fine. But yeah, Fnatic won. They're the best team in the world. They've won 2 Masters tournaments so far. Woo. NA's still the best or not NA. America's still the best region. Cope. EU is literally just Fnatic. Anyway, Overwatch World Cup is happening.
Man, the Overwatch World Cup. I tuned in for one match, and I tuned right back out.
I have watched every single United States game, and I've watched a couple of other games from a couple of different groups. Basically, if you want my personal opinion, the United States... literally the finals are just going to be South Korea versus the United States. Pretty much every other team in the tournament isn't looking like some of them look good. I won't lie. Some of them look good, like France or Great Britain. Like they look good in their groups, but you're going to be hard pressed to actually convince me that they're beating the US or South Korea.
Some of those South Korean Valorant Jet players are crack addicts.
We're talking about Overwatch here, brother.
Oh.
Overwatch World Cup.
South Korean D.Va and Winston mains are crack addicts.
But
my point still stands.
It really does. Just different game.
Different character.
But yeah.
Actually, I know Ana players who play Genji and are from South Korea, or who are pros, who also play Jet.
Yeah.
And they're all crack addicts.
Yeah, they are.
So, they're not actual crack addicts. Please don't take
not real crack addicts. They're just absolutely cracked at the game.
Yeah. I mean, if you do that, That is your thing. I respect it. I understand if you have your vices and your demons. We accept all, except for people who skip Skypea. We don't accept Skypea skippers. Not
Listen, if you skip Skypea, unsub. Honestly, just leave.
You don't have to do that. Actually, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
If you skip
Skypea, get out, bro. We don't want you.
Get out. Get out. Like, how? Come on. I know it was so goated.
Poisoning the community like that? That's wild.
Yeah,
But,
I don't want you ruining it for me.
Back to Overwatch. I could quickly list off who's in the top 3 for each group. Obviously, you got U.S., Canada, Mexico for America's Group A. America's Group B is Brazil, Colombia, Chile. APAC Group A is South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong. You know, Hong Kong be out here winning a couple games. Truth be told, it was against Chinese Taipei, Indonesia, and the Philippines, so kind of means nothing. APAC Group B is Australia and Thailand. Everybody else did not qualify. For Europe Group A, we got France, Great Britain, and Spain. For Europe Group B, we have Saudi Arabia.
I'd be surprised if the French don't drop out mid-tournament.
Oh my god, that's so foul. Anyway, Europe Group B is Saudi Arabia, Finland. Saudi Arabia is actually another good team. Pretty solid team.
Oh my god, dude. Saudi Arabia is... Oh
Yeah.
my god, their tank player is so crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
also Inza. Like, Saudi Arabia does have a good team. I'm sorry I neglected to mention that Saudi Arabia has a good team. But again, Group B, only those 2 teams. Everybody else did not qualify. And that concludes the Overwatch section, because Blizzard is a bad company. Anyway.
Diablo 4 is really fun. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, that's their main moneymaker, so they got to make it good.
Oh my god, I played Diablo 4 at my brother's house yesterday on his PS5. I only played the first 15 minutes because I don't want to spoil too much of it for myself.
I gotta pick up Diablo 4. I got a lot of stuff I gotta pick up.
Diablo 4 videos probably within the near-ish future.
Yeah, we could do some Diablo 4 videos, yeah.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn. Take the floor, buddy of mine. This motherfucker's spilling shit everywhere, bro. Got that Grimace purple cup.
No hands.
You spilled it all over yourself.
I was gonna make a little Wayne joke there, but I didn't feel like it was the time to make a little Wayne joke.
Nah, I'll settle for the Grimace joke right now, since that's what's popping with the kids.
Yep. You know, I saw a video where it was, what if Grimace is wondering where all of his happy birthdays are, and it's Ronald McDonald who's killing all of these people who are drinking the Grimace shake so that Grimace won't become the face of McDonald's.
Yeah.
It'll be Ronald forever. And Grimace is sad and depressed because he thinks no one's wishing him a happy birthday, when Ronald is really just committing horrible eldritch sins.
You know, I actually met Ronald McDonald. That's not even a joke. I have a picture of Ronald McDonald. I'll send the picture over to our Jamie real quick. Of me and Valorant team I'm on with Ronald.
I don't know what my dad's doing. He came in to ask for my keys. I don't know what he wants.
He wants your keys, boy.
I don't know.
Anyway, Jamie, check one of the chats. Or one of the PMs. I'm gonna send you a picture of Ronald. But yeah, met Ronald. Creepy ass motherfucker. So I don't think that theory is entirely wrong.
You know, yeah, I have to agree. I have to concur. Man.
But yeah, take the stage. It's your time to shine, pumpkin.
Sick. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Warhammer 40k corner. That's 40k. That's corner with a K, not with a C. Get it right. It's corner with a K. Thank you very much. Today we'll be talking about the Adeptus Astartes. If you don't know what 40K Corner is with a K, it is our section in which I teach my co-host.
Hello.
And I guess, I guess our Jamie as well. I teach them both about Warhammer, seeing as one of the upcoming book clubs, hopefully we can get to it in time, is First Heretic. I want to get as much in as possible before we hit October, because October is Orktober and we're reading Brutal Cunning for that. So I gotta get a lot of information in real quick. So you're not gonna get super specifics. You're just gonna get an overall view of stuff that I like and stuff I find interesting. With a little bit of cool knowledge in here and there. Most of it is just like a base information work. So to get started today, we're talking about the Adeptus Astartes. You don't know what the Adeptus Astartes are. They are the Space Marines. If you live
Space
and breathe
Marines.
and are on the internet, you've probably seen the Space Marines.
Yes, I have.
If you haven't seen the Space Marines, I don't know what rock you're living under, but it's sure as heck not in our system. Because I don't know a single person who hasn't heard of a Space Marine. Or at least seen a picture of a Space Marine.
Yeah, because Space Marines are fucking sick, dog.
Like,
They're genuinely just that cool.
so cool. Starting off, I have a quote for you. Shall I
Give me the quote.
I indulge you in the quote?
Whisper the quote in my ears.
All right. I'm not whispering. You have to go to the Patreon for that.
Diego's gonna whisper Warhammer quotes in your ear.
I will whisper Warhammer quotes into your ear on a Patreon. I'll bet like the $5 tier or something. Okay, here we go. They shall be my finest warriors. These men who give of themselves to me, like clay I shall mold them, in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They shall be of iron will and steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them, with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease. No sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are the defenders of humanity. They are my Space Marines, and they shall know no fear.
Nah, that's hard as fuck. That's hard as fuck.
That's such a cold line. If you don't know who the Emperor is, that's also crazy. We'll talk about the Emperor when we talk about the history of it all, which will probably be in the Curios episode. The Curios episode will be little tidbits of characters who I couldn't find places for them to fit in other sections. So the Astartes are just physically, they're so far removed from humanity in terms of like strength and people. This is gonna ever so slightly. There we go. There's just so like in a demigod realm compared to humans that they almost don't care about mortals. They have very, very little compassion for you as a person. If you are in their way of eradicating an enemy of the Imperium, they will step on you. If you have become friends with some sort of Xenos, and you're like, oh no, Mr. Space Marine, don't shoot. Bang, bang. Both of you are dead, it doesn't matter. You are not important to them. There are billions of humans, and there are very few Space Marines. Very, very few.
Yeah.
To see a Space Marine in your life is, I mean, they're called the Angels of Death, not only because, you know, they're God Emperor and they're angels or whatever, but literally because seeing them would be like seeing an angel. Like, you will rarely ever see one. The scale of the Imperium, I don't think people understand it. There are some planets that don't even know what a Space Marine is.
Damn.
Yeah. They would know that they're like defenders of humanity. They would show up and they'd be speaking, and you'd understand it. But there are some places that it just never go. I have a list of a lot of the Primarchs and their chapters. This is a non-trader list. I don't know why Horus and the Luna Wolves are on here. That's my bad. I shouldn't have put them on here. This is supposed to be a non-trader list. I don't think I'm missing any of the non-traders though. Yeah, no, okay. The only one I put on here that's actually traders is the Iron Wolves. Actually, I messed this up.
This guy.
This
Point
guy.
and laugh at this
I didn't,
guy.
but I didn't, but I did.
I'm actually pointing
So
and laugh.
starting
off
off,
my feelings.
yeah, I'll cry. So starting off, we have the Space Wolves. Their home planet is Fenris, which is just ice planet. Very cool. Their Primarch is Lehman Russ, aka Wolf Boy.
Wolf Boy.
He's a furry.
Oh
They're all
God,
furries.
he's a furry.
They're all furries.
I take back my cheer.
Lehman Russ was found in 819 Millennium 30. So right now we're currently in 40K, like Millennium 40000. He was found in 30,000 or Millennium 30,819.
Yeah.
So very long
He's
time
old
ago.
as fuck.
They're all old. Lehman Russ is somewhere off in the Eye of Terror doing Lehman Russ stuff. After the Horus Heresy, he was like, I smell losers in that giant portal. I'm going to go through it. And they were like, no, oh no, bitch. Mr. Furry Boy, don't go through there. And it was too late. He was already through there fighting demons. We don't know what he's actually doing. We really don't know.
He's pulling an Omni-Man.
He probably is pulling an Omni-Man. There are multiple characters currently pulling Omni-Mans in the warp. And it's kind of crazy. So the Space Wolves, they are known for, they're super unorthodox in their organization, in their tactics. They don't really care for the Codex Astartes, which we'll get to what the Codex Astartes is later. It's just a rule book Gilliman made because of the heresy. They are very, very, very feral in their appearance, and they have sharp teeth. They ride wolves. They use hammers. They use lightning axes. They have wolf pelts that adorn them, and wolf tooths and necklaces. And they do not follow a single rule from the Codex Astartes. Gilliman was like, "Hey guys, I know you guys kissing animals and stuff, but you guys got to listen to what the book says." And they're like, "Okay, nerd," and they kicked them off the planet. And they're like, nah, we're not gonna listen to what that blueberry has to say. And what's so funny to me is every chapter has psychers. They have librarians who use psychic powers, as well as among other people who use psychic powers. The Space Wolves hate psychers, but they have them. But to them, they're not, quote unquote, they're not drawing from the warp. They're not using psychic powers. They're drawing on Fenris and the power of Fenris. Oh, Fenris gives.
Yeah.
Bro, you're halfway across the galaxy and you're telling me your planet is sending you energy signals to let you summon lightning from your head?
The fuck?
You're just a psyker, bro.
You're just a psyker.
You're just a psyker. Like, come on.
Sounds like a slur. Keep going.
Lehman Russ was known to be the executioner of the Emperor. He would, if he sent him to fight Magnus, which will explain why Magnus did do wrong. Okay, if one more of you says to me, Magnus did nothing wrong, I'm gonna break my foot off up your butt. Respectfully. Magnus, yes, did not deserve what he got. He did not deserve to get baned. Like Lehman Russ took him like he was Batman and just went boom on his knee in front of his entire group of dudes. Was like, yeah, you're lame, bro. Dad doesn't love you. You like space magic. And then, Magnus just got done so wrong, dude. So that's besides the point. Next up, We have I think this is the second Legion. So their Primarch is redacted. The name of their Legion is Records Redacted. The time in which they were the planet in which they were found on redacted, and the time in which he was found redacted.
Very good.
We don't know. We don't really know who the second Primarch was. Who's that Legion supposed to be? All we know is what they did was so horrible that they were scrubbed from like the records. That's the in-lore reason. The in-game reason was that supposedly, I think some people believe that Games Workshop was going to allow you to create your own Space Marine Legions or something. We don't know. No one touches those two legions. No one talks about them. No one's tried to explain them. I think it's just kind of become a thing where we're never going to get them.
Yeah.
It's a bit too late in the game to ever get any explanation of them. Next up, we have the 10th Legion and the 10th Primarch found, I believe, which was Ferrus Manus. He was found on his home world of Medusa in 824 M30. And he leads the Iron Hands. Ferrus Manus has this very Greek Spartan feel to him. He's all about perfection. Like all about perfection. But like not in the way of what his Legion has twisted it into now. He was about being calm, collected. I mean, like when we talk about the individual Primarchs, they will have their own episode where I go into detail on their backstories. But you remember how we talked about the Valhalla and Ice Guard?
Yes, we did.
On the ice planet basically, yeah, it's basically what Medusa was.
Okay.
And so if you weren't of any use to, like, strength leads to perfection kind of a thing. Like, if you're strong, you're of use to me.
Yeah.
If you're not strong, you're not of use to me. And so if you were old or sick, sorry, but me and the rest of the village have to survive, and you're just weight. Yeah. You're a dead weight. You weren't strong enough. You weren't strong enough.
If you're old and sick, GG. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I mean, he would literally, like, kick out kids out of the village and tell them to come back after they'd killed one of the native predators of the planet. Medusa was not a place where you wanted to fight the predators. So you can imagine this made some pretty strong group of humans on Medusa.
Yeah.
But now after the heresy, they Iron Hands have fallen into what's the word? Not technomancy. They're technophiles. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Technophiles.
Technomancy
basically
and
now.
technophile, very different words.
Yeah. You know. So they're devoted to the cult of the machine at the Adeptus Mechanicus now. So they work very hand in hand with the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah.
They, for some reason, like to cut off their body parts and replace them with cybernetics.
Okay, so we're talking kind of like the Maelstrom from Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Like, for example, every single neophyte in the chapter, which neophytes are the young ones coming into the chapter, have their left hand removed and replaced with a cybernetic model. Which would Ferrus Manus like that? No, he would not. You did not earn your strength. You grafted it onto your body. That is not strength. That is
Godric the grafted type shit.
Yeah, but their rebuttal would be, but Father, in your rage you died. In your perfection, you still weren't perfect. So there's something missing.
Yeah.
He got his head chopped off by Fulgrim which we'll talk about more about that in the episode with the Primarchs and all that happens there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pretty Boy Fulgrim cuts off his head because Ferrus Manus, for the first time in his life, doesn't think. He just acts in anger, and he loses. And so that's kind of the thing. They're like, obviously, like they were very mad at him whenever it first happened. They were like, you can read some of the books, which I think we might even see some of it in the first Heretic. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. I don't think so. Like I said, I haven't really read the first Heretic, so I can't tell you. What? I'll respond to this in a second. I work text all at the same time. It's great. So next up we have I want to pet this creature.
I want to pet this creature.
We have Vulcan of the Salamanders. He was found on the homeworld of Nocturne in 832 M30, which I believe is significantly later than the rest. He was found 7 years after Ferrus, and like 30-something years after Horus. Horus is the favorite son.
Yeah, so
we'll talk about
still
Horus.
old as dirt, though.
Yeah, technically they're all the same age.
All right, you lost me.
We'll talk about why and who the Primarchs are next episode, because they get their whole own episode.
Wonderful. You had me, then you lost me.
Yeah. Listen, their mom got mad at Big E and was like, "I'm yeeting our babies into hell, because I'm mad at you." Yeah. So what? The Salamanders are a very technically adept chapter. They're not technophiles. They are not chopping off all of their body parts to make them metal. They really like melta guns, which are flamethrowers.
Yep.
And energized warhammers. They are the only chapter who cares about humans to a slight degree. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They're a little more like, they'll risk their lives to save a human before any other chapter would do so. Any other chapter would look at you and be like, "Yeah, you're crazy. I'm 10 times more important than you are to the safety of the Imperium."
And they're just
like,
allowed to do this shit. Like, they're just...
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Wait, are you gonna stop them?
No, but
I didn't
think
think
the
so.
Emperor would rather them...
The Emperor's dead.
Listen.
He's on his little throne.
They're
on his little magical humming
they're
throne.
all so zealous that I'd think that they'd be like, okay, I am more important to the safety of the Imperium than you, so I can't go out of my way to save you like that. I'll help you if I can.
Yeah, most Space Marine legions are like that. Like, I'll help you if I need to, but I don't think I need to.
Yeah, but
bro.
I'm thinking like they're
your
more
parents.
like, if I can, as long as
I will.
Yeah, if I can, I will. As long as it's not like I'm biting the dust off of it.
They might bite the dust, and that's okay with them because the Emperor wanted them to protect humanity, so that's what they're doing.
They're protecting humanity, as so is the Emperor's will, I guess.
They are also the only legion allowed to remember their families.
Oh, no wonder they help people. Fuck.
They actually get to go and visit their families. They get to live a normal life outside of war. And wouldn't you know it? There's some of the most happy, high morale units in the lore.
Well, there you have it. If you treat your workers with respect and allow them to see their family, they will be happy.
Isn't it just insane? They like to forge their own stuff, so they do a lot of modifications to their own bolters. They don't really let They don't have beef with the Adeptus Mechanicus, but they don't need the Adeptus Mechanicus.
So that's
why would I
what
let?
you mean
Why
by
would
they're like tech savvy, but they're not technophiles.
Yeah, why would I let some weirdo who's gonna chant and pour oil over my gun and get it all jammed up, like even touch it when I can just add this cool suppressor, scope, drum mag, stock, and a like paint it gold, get a 50 kill streak with it, and then go craft a hammer. Like
Hammer.
They don't care. They just make it themselves. They upgrade. They care for. They build their own weapons and they take care of their own armor and stuff.
Oh, there goes Jamie. He died.
Jamie has died.
Jamie. We'll say our prayers for Jamie.
We'll say our prayers for yeah. And next up we have Rogel Dorn and the Imperial Fists. They're with the home planet of Inuit. He was found in 835 M30.
My Enwa.
My Inwa. So Rogel Dorn, there he is.
Ah, Jamie's back.
What happened to you, sir?
Oh, he's giving us the silent treatment. I see how it is.
That's crazy. Whoa.
You know,
And
sometimes
just,
this cuts out.
Yeah, sometimes it just does. It's great for our recordings. It's phenomenal. Discord has done it to us before mid recording, so it's just cool. So they're known for being siege specialists.
Yep.
They see a big wall, they're like, let's blow it up.
Men after my
They
own
also
heart.
hate the Iron Warriors for reasons I'll explain later. I think that's more of a Dorn Perturabo, and then like it's almost as if like my dad hated somebody.
Yeah.
Like my dad hated my uncle, and then like my dad looks at me one day and he's like, "You need to hate your little cousins," and I'm like, "But I don't even know them," and he's like, "No, we hate them," and I'm like, "Yes, father," and then I just go to like fight my little cousins or something. I don't know. Like,
Yes, Papa.
like it's almost yes, Papa. I will carry on your rage. You know, it's kind of like that. Like they don't have. I mean, obviously they have a reason to hate them, seeing as they're traitors.
Yeah.
But you know, it's almost ancient feud for no reason. It's also because the Iron Warriors are the greatest, like creators of static defenses, while as like the the Imperial Fists are really good at siege.
Yeah.
The Iron Warriors are really good at creating defenses.
Yeah, so one's good offense, one's good defense.
Yeah. I don't really care for the Imperial Fists. I'm not a big yellow armor kind of guy.
They're the yellow armor motherfuckers?
Yeah, they're the yellow armor dudes.
Oh.
Not really my thing.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of their whole look and shtick.
Yeah, it's each their own though. Next up, we have everyone's favorite, including the writers. It's the Blueberries with their Primarch, Rabute Girly Man.
Oh my god.
Robot Gellerfield. Julius Caesar. Rabute Gilliman, his Ultramarines with their home planet of Macrog in the system Ultramar. He was found in 837 M30. The Ultramarines, fucking hate
Those are
those
blue motherfuckers that everybody knows, right?
Everybody knows. You know how at the beginning of this 40K corner, dear listener, I said if you didn't know what a Space Marine was, you were living under a rock. I can bet you, if you don't know if you haven't seen an Ultramarine, you are medically blind.
I know for a fact that the thing that popped up in my head when you said Space Marines was an Ultramarine.
Was an Ultramarine. The blue guys with the Omega like the Omega on their arm. Yeah, Ultramarines. They are the so they have exemplary discipline and they're super loyal and they follow little books, follow little Codex Astaris their old dad made. I don't care. I don't care about your trade routes. I don't care about your efficiency. I don't care about the market value of blueberries. I don't care. I did care though. It was pretty cool when the Tyranids wiped out like half of the Legion. That was pretty cool.
Bro just likes watching Ultramarines die.
Yeah.
Just not even like an actual bit of Ultramarine, just like likes watching them die.
Yeah. I like watching them lose because they don't do it very often. I'm enough talking about them. I don't want to talk about them. They're boring and I don't care. Their dad is cool now because he's got mega depression.
Oh shit, same dog.
Yeah, no, he's got like galactic depression.
Oh, he's on that solar system shit.
Yeah, listen, let me put it into perspective, right? The last thing you remember is getting your throat cut by one of your own brothers, almost dying after having to fight like 3 of your brothers back to back who betrayed you and your father. You wake up to your father, a corpse on a throne, his empire worshiping him, the one thing he never wanted. Not a single one of your brothers even in sight. A corrupted empire.
Damn, bro.
Like, everything is all out of whack, and he can do nothing about it. When a system has been in place for 10,000 years, it doesn't matter if you're the son of... Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're the son of their god. It's too late. It's too late. Like, you can't do anything about it. So he's trying, and he's a lot more interesting of a character now after he got revived and has space depression.
It's like Spider-Man. It's interesting when he's incredibly egregiously depressed.
Yeah. Yeah. Next up, we have Pretty Boy, and
he died once again.
We have Pretty Boy and the Blood Angels with their homeboy with their homeworld of Ball. Pretty Boy is Sanguinius. Sanguinius does like balls.
Sanguinius, I'm assuming, is some type of basically just a vampire.
We'll get there. But yes, God, man. Can I finish speaking before you just like ruin the whole plot point?
Bitch, the whole reason I'm here listening to this is so that I can...
Good job, though.
Is so that I can
relate figured it out
to all of the random bits of just random nerd shit I have in my brain.
Yeah. So yeah, they are the vampire ones. They were found in 843 M30. So he's one of the later ones that was found, I believe. I believe he's one of the latest that was found. No, I lied hard. He's in the middle. He's somewhere near the bottom of the list that's found. The Blood Angels suffer from something called the Black Rage and the Red Thirst. You know, every legion has something that makes them super special.
Yeah.
The Blood Angels just be taking PCP.
I mean, that makes you special. PCP makes people special.
They be taking the PCP, and they be like, I gotta drink blood, bro. I need to drink it. Nah, wait, I gotta act like I'm a good person.
Don't do PCP, kids.
And then, so at a certain point, right, you can be a Blood Angel, and Blood Angels can drink the blood of their foes, and gain memories, among other things, from drinking the blood. Once you do it once, there's almost like this itch in the back of your head that slowly builds, where you're no longer words escape me. You're no longer drinking or chasing blood for knowledge. Oh, I gotta find out where the enemy camp is. You're chasing blood because you want blood. That's
It's
it.
tasty.
You need to drink it.
Yeah, it's like
you have this
Kool-Aid.
red thirst. Yeah, so it becomes they get the red thirst, and so they go berserk, and they just start killing everything that moves.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to know what also makes the Blood Angels special?
What?
Images of their daddy getting murdered by his brother get beamed into their head all the time randomly, and they just go crazy.
Oh, that's hot. That's...
Yeah. So Sanguinius pulls up to Horus, and he's like, "Horus, I'm gonna stop," and then Horus just grabs him by the neck and snaps his neck, and then for some reason that was immediately broadcasted to all of the Blood Angels that were alive.
Oh.
So every single Blood Angel at some point will get the Black Rage, I believe. Unless you're like Dante, and you're fucking Dante. You're like the oldest living Space Marine.
Yeah.
That's not in a Terminator suit. Dante literally cannot die. Like, Dante also has mega depression because Dante's like, alright, on to the next battlefield. Maybe I can die here and join my father. Like I was supposed to millennium ago. Oh, nope, I'm still alive.
The things mega depression
I
plus immortality do to you.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have probably also seen pictures of Dante, because that almost gold face mask thing that looks like someone screaming.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now.
That's literally Dante. So many people have seen Dante because Dante is so cool. You just don't know it was Dante. I absolutely adore Dante as much as I adore Azrael, but we're getting to my Dark Angels right after this.
I think I know who Azrael
we have
is,
two.
I think I've seen him before too.
If you haven't seen Azrael, I'm gonna show you Azrael. It doesn't matter. So these Blood Angels that get like the Red Thirst or like the Black Rage get put in a death company.
Yeah.
And I gotta sneeze really bad. And they get sent to the front lines. You get trapped in a tower until they need you to go kill something, and they're like, "Yo, send the crackheads at the other crackheads." And they watch the crackheads fight.
Yeah, it's like if you sent
like,
Florida to go fight someone.
Oh man, who could you send Florida to?
That makes that analogy work. This is so fucked.
Venezuelans. If you sent Florida,
Venezuelans.
if you just put a bunch of Florida dudes in like power armor and dropped them in the middle of Venezuela, and then gave them a bunch of PCP, and then gave all the Venezuelans plasma guns and giant mechs, that's about what you got. That's about what the Blood Angels going in somewhere is.
Oh my god. That's good.
Next up, we have the first and the best Legion.
Yep.
I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Lionel Johnson is
Sorry, I'd
the
like
Primarch of the...
Before you get into that, someone just banged on the fucking door. For those that don't know, I'm at a hotel currently. Because I'm not in the States. But someone just banged on the hotel door.
Like,
as soon as you said First Legion, someone just hammered into the door.
They cannot know.
Sorry, continue.
You cannot know. Lionel Johnson, Primarch of the Dark Angels.
Yeah.
And their homeworld of Caliban. He was found in 846 M30. He's my favorite boy of all time. I love him. Boy. I love him very much. He's not best boy. He's really mean. He's really fucking mean.
I like you. You're my friend now. We're having soft tacos later.
I will kill all of the heretics and slaughter their family. That's about how it goes.
Oh, that's fun.
So the Dark Angels, how do I start explaining the Dark Angels? Okay, let me explain Lionel Johnson, and then it'll make the Dark Angels make sense. So Lionel Johnson was found on Caliban.
Yes.
I will give you a short overview because I'll talk more about him. I've read almost every single book that has Lionel Johnson in it. That's like he's the main character.
Yeah.
Because
He's just that guy.
Dark Angels fan. Yeah, yeah. So, you know how I said Lehman Russ was the executioner of the Emperor?
Yeah.
He sends him to kill specific people. Yeah. If he wanted to make sure no one ever knew you again, like you were just gone from existence, he was sending Lionel Johnson after you.
Oh.
For example, once Lionel Johnson cleared his planet, Caliban, so he has like night orders and stuff. He had like orders of knights on Caliban, like the Knights of Caliban. Once they wiped the planet of all chaos infested or chaos corrupted predators. So like they had chaos monsters.
Yeah.
Once they wiped the planet of them, everyone got a little bit bored and they were like, you know what? You're a bad leader, Lionel Johnson. We're gonna revolt. And then Lionel Johnson's men were like, hey, look at that castle. They're revolting. Should we go fight them, Dad? And he's like, I got it.
Bro said, I got it.
He left not a single soul, no matter the age or gender, alive in the surrounding town or castle.
So Neiman Russ is the executioner. Lionel Johnson is the executioner's blade, if you will.
No, he's the scorched earth. He's the press the big red button, make sure it doesn't exist anymore.
I see. Understandable.
He makes Lehman Russ look like a furry.
Understandable.
Yeah. Right. So, for example, Lehman Russ will be standing there, he will be snarling at you. Oh, I'm feral. I'm a wolf. I'm gonna jump on this table and howl. Lionel Johnson will be standing in the corner of the room, without his back to the door, constantly just surveying. Like he's a predator. Like no one in the room to him. Everyone's a threat. It doesn't matter if you are a threat or if you aren't a threat.
You are a threat.
You are a threat.
Okay.
They have two elite forces known as the Deathwings and the Raven Wings. I think the Raven Wings are the Flyers and the Deathwings are like the main Dark Angel forces.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Don't ever say the words fallen around a Dark Angel. Because in the heresy, and you'll get to read it whenever we get to the first heretic, and you'll get to see it. For certain story reasons, there are traitor Dark Angels, and they're called the Fallen or the Fallen Angels. They don't fucks with them. No, they don't like them. Don't like them at all. They're the only legion I think that has like explained. So there are traitor legions and then there are non-traitor legions, and then you have people like the Dark Angels, who some of them went to the traitors and most of them didn't. And their whole thing is we have to kill all of the fallen.
Yeah.
Like they have to die for like the crimes they committed against us, our father, and the Emperor. Like they gotta die. And so they torture. When it comes to torturing people and getting information out of people, the Dark Angels excel quite a lot. It's something they're super duper good at. Fallen? What Fallen? Have you heard of Fallen?
Oh,
you heard of Fallen? I'm gonna mind probe you and torture you and stab you and make your life a living hell until you tell me what you know about the Fallen. Oh, you didn't know anything about the Fallen. You were just fallen and were asking for help to stand up. Oh, I apologize. I broke like 6 of your bones.
Unfortunate, dog. Anyway.
That's my fault. Back to what I was doing. Azrael is the GOAT. Azrael's a GOAT.
Yeah.
I mean, let me just pull up a picture of him.
I pulled up a picture and I saw... I have seen him before. I'm assuming other people that have spent large chunks of time on the internet have also seen him. Cool as fuck. Like, that guy. Timothy Jones.
Absolutely that guy. Yeah, Timothy Jones for real. I have a few cool pictures we'll show. I have Azrael in my little Warhammer phone game, Warhammer Tacticus. He is my most upgraded unit.
Tacticus.
Dude, what can I say, man? I love Azrael.
No, I'm more just laughing at the Tacticus.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure if DeAndre will be able to get this into the video. I'm not too worried about it. So this is what Azrael's model looks like currently. This is the most updated model. I don't think it's a little bit old. When did this one come out? This one came out in... I don't remember when this one came out. I think it's rather recent. This is what Azrael looks like as a model, though, on the tabletop. Pretty cool.
Cool guy with the banner.
This is what Azrael actually looks like IRL. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to me. Not gonna lie. I like the little wings. You know.
The wings hit. I ain't gonna lie.
The bullpup bolts are also slaps. This is Azrael.
Doom guy. I see.
This is Azrael without his helmet on, fighting a Cornate Berserker. I believe this is a Cornate Berserker. Or that way. No. That's Vastor. That's Azrael going hands to hand with Vastor, the Archifane.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my
God. I don't care what anybody says to me. This picture is it just looks like Doom guy. Like, it just will.
It screams Doom guy, doesn't it?
The Doom.
Dog, like, I mean, they have what can I say about the Dark Angels? They all have I don't know why I said that this was a Coordinate Berserker. That's Vastor the Archivane. I don't know what I'm talking about. He is he's Vastor. We'll talk about Vastor some other time.
He's Vastor.
What can I say more about the Dark Angels? They're a very knight-ish legion.
And the screen.
They're like round table. They have knight names: Azrael, Belial, Gallant, Gal. They just have knight names. They literally just have like 16th century knight names. Like, come on. Absolutely great. And if you talk trash about my Dark Angels, I will find you. If you want like more context on why Lionel Johnson isn't a good person, I gotta stop sharing my notes.
End your stream right now, boy.
End your stream right now, boy. Conrad Kurz was playing Among Us on Gilliman's ship, and then was like, I'm out, and then he went out the escape pod and then landed on Macrog. Macrog, which is Gilliman's homeworld, where Gilliman's mom was chilling.
Damn, he pulled up on his mom's?
Yeah, and Lionel Johnson is like, yo, we gotta get rid of Conrad. He's a problem. Like, our brother's a problem. He's gonna kill people. He's already killing people. And Gilliman's like, dude, we can go about this the good way. We can go about it the easy way. We can search for him. Whatever you do, don't bombard my planet from orbit. And then he turns around, and then it's too late. He's already pressed the button, and he started bombarding Gilliman's home planet because Conrad was down there, and Conrad pissed him off. Conrad literally trash talked him before he jumped off the ship, and that is the whole reason why Lionel was just like, big red button. That was it. That was the whole reason.
Bro glassed the planet
Gilliman's
because he got trash talked.
Bro tried to glass Gilliman's home planet because Conrad trash talked him.
Oh my fucking god.
And Gilliman was like, yo, my brother, my mother is down there.
My brother in Christ.
What are you doing? Like, my literal brother in Christ. Like, my absolute brother. Like, my literal brother. You are blowing up my mom. because you can't handle a 12-year-old in Call of Duty voice chat. Are you
Oh
kidding me
my
right now?
God.
That's about how that goes. Another fun story I quite like. I actually just heard this one. I didn't know this. The Grey Knights, which we haven't talked about yet. Oh my God! I forgot to put the Grey Knights and the Custodians in this episode.
Yeah.
Those will be in the Primarch episode. Actually, no. I'll talk about the Grey Knights. We'll talk about the Inquisition.
All right.
Yeah, no, I remember I didn't. Okay, I didn't put the Custodians and the Grey Knights in here for good reason. The Custodians will be with the Sisters of Silence and the Sisters of Battle, as well as the Thunder Warriors and the rest of the Curios.
Yep.
Imperium war factions. And then the Grey Knights will be with the Inquisition because I feel like it's a lot better to explain them there. But fun little story. No one knows the Grey Knights exist, except for like a few named characters, Azrael being one of them.
Yes.
Only because Azrael's fighting a demon incursion with his Deathwing Terminators.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, these guys in full gray armor just teleport onto the battlefield and start killing demons. And then at the end, right, they're standing next to Azrael, and Azrael's surrounded by his Deathwing Terminators. And the Grey Knights start looking at Azrael like, man, we really gotta mind probe you. And Azrael's like, yeah, if you want to find out what the end of my sword tastes like, I dare you. I dare you.
Okay.
So like they mind probe everybody. They mind probe they mind wipe other Space Marines.
Yeah.
They mind like, it just depends on how strong you are. They just turn around and look at Azrael like, oh, we gotta go mind wipe, and Azrael was looking at them with like, try it. Go ahead, come on.
Do it. I dare you. I double dog
Like,
dare
I will
you.
show you. I will show you why I am the chapter master of the Dark Angels. I will show you. I will show you.
Bro said you gonna get front row seats.
Like, you'll be in the movie, bro. They'll make a movie about you. Next, we have two more before we're done. Technically three. So next up we have V is fifth. We have the Fifth Legion, who has Jagatai Khan of the White Scars, and his homeworld of Mundus Planus. It's a name.
Mundus Planus.
He was found. Yep, he was found in 865 M30. The White Scars are Mongolians. Mongolians on bikes.
Okay. Oh, that's sick. You should have led with Mongolians on bikes. Like you shouldn't have paused. Just tell me they're on bikes. That's sick.
You want me to show you? You want me to show you Jagatai Khan? I'll show you Jagatai Khan.
Mongolians on bikes. Fuck yeah.
Mongolians on bikes, bro.
I love myself some Mongolians on bikes.
They actually started out riding horses, and then they found out the crack cocaine that is riding speed bikes.
Oh,
this is Jagatai Khan.
That is just a Mongolian. Yeah, no, that is. Yeah, that's Mongols.
Oh, that's what his home planet is called, Chagoris. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not Mundus Planus. It's Chagoris. Chagoris is the name of his homeworld.
Mm.
We'll read this book at some point too, but it'll be later on, down the line in the Horus Heresy lineup. This is some cool art that someone made of her, or made of him. They made Jagatai Khan as a female.
They made him or her.
We didn't get any. Yeah, we didn't get any female. And for people who don't know, there were female Space Marines, but in the early '80s, females weren't widely accepted by nerds, and so they didn't sell very well. And so, Games Workshop wrote the lore without them in it, because people didn't want to buy them. So, there's not female Space Marines. There isn't anymore. People just didn't buy them. They didn't sell well. So what are they supposed to do? They tried. They really tried pushing them really, really hard. But yeah, nah. I mean, Jagatai Khan is more interesting than his Legion is, I think. Which I will have a lot to talk about Jagatai. I like Jagatai as a Primarch and as a character more than I like his Legion. And there's nothing against his Legion. No hate. They're cool.
Yeah. But named characters are always going to be a bit more interesting than just like the people they command.
I don't care about the Dark Angels. I care about Azrael, chapter master of the Dark Angels.
You like Lu Bu, but the people he commanded, I mean,
I don't care. I don't care about them.
For those that don't know,
I'm trying to
is
stay
an
guy.
ancient Chinese general.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know. Last but finally not least, I don't know how to read Roman numerals. I don't know what XIX means. I think it's like 11 or something like that.
XIX is...
Oh, no, it's
that
not.
is not 12. You're actually incorrect.
What am I talking about? Listen, I told you I don't know how to read Roman numerals.
19.
Yeah, the 19th Legion. Oh my God, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, it is.
Because it's the 10 and then it's the 1
10,
and then
1, 10.
Yeah. Is Corvus Corax. This one's probably going to be a little bit more your speed. This one is why I left it for last on the list, because he's going to be your favorite.
Yes.
He's literally going to be your favorite.
Okay.
I already know. I put him at the last part for a reason. The Corvus Corax and the Primarch of the Raven Guard.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
From the home planet of Deliverance. Found in 922 M30. The Raven Guard specialize in hit and run assaults. They like to use jump jets, like jump packs, like jetpacks.
Oh, it's fucking
and
Mandalorians.
lightning claws.
Oh.
And lightning claws.
That's
they literally ODST in from orbit and then just start flying around cutting stuff.
Oh,
they ODST in from orbit. They also are super sneaky. You know, there's a phrase that's used a lot in the lore, and to kind of explain how fast Space Marines are, to kind of give a vague feeling of it, is something that big should never move that fast. So they in that full power armor, they can outrun Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Like, come on, nothing that big should move that fast.
Nothing that big should.
And
move
so
that fast.
And so in that same vein of thought, you would think that nothing that big should be that sneaky.
They're very sneaky.
Yeah, you'd be wrong. Just wait until you're some chaos cultist on a planet standing guard with your little las rifle, and you swear to God that those shadows have been moving for the past 10 minutes, but you're also off of so much warp juice you don't know left from right. And then an 8-foot tall behemoth literally rises from the shadows like he's Megumi Fushiguro, and then just stabs lightning claws through your chest and is like, "For the Emperor," and then disappears back into the shadows.
Oh my God! It's like if Master Chief was like really stealthy.
If Master Chief maxed out Sneak 100, like he is Sneak 100, yeah, that was it. Their gene seed literally gives them the ability to melt into shadows.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
Corvus Corax is currently being the pettiest little brother ever. You wanna know what he's doing? He's in the warp. He's a giant crow demon. He's not actually like a demon. He's like a crow monster thing. He can transform into it, but he's so mad currently that he can't even like transform out. Like he's has such fervent rage right now that like the one thing he's focused on is killing Lorgar.
Imagine pissing a
Lorgar
motherfucker off so much that he cannot turn back into human once turning into a giant crow monster.
Yeah. Lorgar is literally stuck. No one can help Lorgar. Like, the reason why Lorgar and Corvus Corax aren't in the current lore is because, like, Lorgar is like, I'm gonna go sit and meditate in my tower. I just betrayed my father, and I'm gonna go be a pious little prick in my tower. Goodbye. And then he's like, wait, I hear bird noises outside. I thought we're in hell. Why are there birds? And he looks out, and there's just like a 9-foot tall fucking bird demon with Chop Suey playing in the background, and he's just like, I'm gonna kill you. You're dead.
Chop Suey.
And so every time word bearers have come to help Lorgar, Corvex Chorus just kills them. He can't get in. He can't get past Lorgar's runes and seals and stuff, but that means Lorgar can't leave. And Corvus isn't going anywhere. If Space Marines don't have to sleep for months on end and turn off their brain and not need to eat and stuff, you can only imagine what a Primarch is like.
Yeah. Bro's gonna chase you to
Corvus,
the ends of the universe, quite literally.
Corvus is pissed. No, he did. He did. He literally chased him to the end of the warp. Lorgar is like, I gotta go. Guys, we gotta go. Someone start the ritual. And so they teleport to the tower, and he's like, I'm safe. And then he looks outside, and there is, like he's the cop from Kaido Chance and Meatballs. There's Corvus Corax running towards him, like, you're not getting away from me, little bro. You're not getting away from me, bro. You're staying in the tower. He refuses to let him out.
You cannot go
All he wants to do is kill him.
And bro's been doing this for how long?
When did the Horus Heresy end? When did the Horus Heresy end? So it ended in 31-4. That's not correct. Yes, it is. Is it? I'm trying to find the exact time. Because M3114 is way too early.
Yeah.
I guess it was. Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. They were all found in M30, which is Millennium 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it ends... It starts at Millennium 3105 or 31005, and then it ends in M3100 or M3114.
And we are currently in Millennium 40K.
4250?
4250?
I believe it's
Damn,
4250. Bro. It's been a good like 10, 12,000. It's been quite a long time. I almost immediately after this. So yeah, you have the Siege of Terra, and then you have the aftermath. So the Siege of Terra happens in M3114. And then the Emperor gave one final command right before he dies. It's called the Great Scouring. He said, "Go find all your brothers and those who betrayed us, and dunk on them."
So bro's just been pissed for the fattest of minutes.
10,000 years.
Like, damn, bro. You know you fucked up when you getting chased for 10,000 years.
10,000 years, bro. Like, that's like he's getting it back in blood one way or the other. He's getting it back in blood.
Is one way to put it. God damn.
Like, bro has him trapped. And guess what? Lorgar's been doing. Humming. That's all he can do.
Please don't let him kill me. Please don't let him kill me.
Please. I think this is the 9th Legion, because it's X and then an I. I believe it's 9th.
X and then an I.
Final Legion.
That is 11. X is 10, and then one after the 10 is 11. If the 1 is before the 10, then that is 1 less than 10. That would make it 9.
Yeah, this is why their empire fell. As an ex-history major, I have the right to say that. Shut up. I post history memes. I send history memes to my friend. I'm digging myself a grave here.
You really are.
The final Legion we're talking about is the 11th Legion with their Primarch redacted. And on their Legion name redacted, their homeworld redacted when they were found redacted. The Inquisition wants to know where you are.
St. Thomas.
So that's about it. We'll talk about the Primarchs next episode.
All right.
Of Warhammer 40K Corner. It's Corner with a K, by the way.
Yeah.
Say it with a K.
Before we end off, I've got a couple of things right before the big announcement. Uzi came out with a new album.
It's gas!
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I've seen a lot of people ragging on it, ragging on the Baby Metal. In my opinion, my favorite song includes Baby Metal. Go fucking cope about it.
You guys are so lame. You guys are so lame. You guys can You guys can support a African American homosexual vampire who doesn't like Nardwuar, but the moment someone makes a baby metal song, you're like, this is so lame.
Nah, for real.
I gotta opium. Like, come on, bro.
Nah,
Shut up, dude. You're a Cardi fan. You're a Cardi fan. That's crazy. That's
the
crazy.
End with Baby Metal is quite possibly one of my favorite Lil Uzi songs. Period.
Oh, yeah. I have to agree. We actually do have one other thing to talk about. And it wasn't on. But let me go while you're doing your thing and you're entertaining them. Let me go find this.
Yes.
That I was told that we need to talk about.
But yeah, I enjoy a lot of the songs on Pink Tape.
Oh, yeah. So I talking about Cardi and the little Uzi thing.
Yeah.
All of that. I said something that may or may not have made a lot of Cardi fans mad. Our friend William came to my defense at the last moment. On TikTok, on the video where Cardi literally ignores and has a security push Nardwuar away,
Yeah.
I put Cardi hasn't been cool since 2018, and even then he was mid. You can about assume how that went.
Oh my god.
I was a one-man army fighting back a horde of zombies. It was great.
You said something. That's horrendous to say in a TikTok. Oh no, brother.
I fought like I was Azrael against Vastor there, dude. Like helmet off, bleeding.
That's
I has my
wild.
sword, no bullets left. I was down, bro. And then what brought me joy was Will being like, dude, talk about it on the podcast. And I was like, boom, we can. Cardi hasn't been good since 2018. I'm sorry. Whole Lotta Red was garbage. It was not ahead of its time. Bro gave you mid, cheated on his wife, doesn't care about his son, and has yet to drop anything good. And you're still his fan? That's crazy, bro. And then for him to go and disrespect Nardwuar like that?
Okay.
Even more insane.
I'm gonna say this. I don't hate Whole Lotta Red, but it was definitely mid. It was, in my opinion, Whole Lotta Red was mid. It wasn't garbage. It was mid, and it is still mid.
Yep.
It was not ahead of its time. It was just mid. Like y'all are capping if you're saying it's ahead of its time. It was just mid. Cardi has not been like great ahead of his time for a minute.
You want to know what was? Do you want to know what was ahead of its time? That dance / house music album Drake made.
I'll say that.
You want to know why? You want to know why it was ahead of its time? It may not have been right, but guess what? It just started booming again, which made me so happy. People like house music now. People are starting to notice it. Like, I get it. Before I get comments, house music was already popular. Yes, it was.
For a minute.
But so many people were like, electronic music, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then Drake made his album, and we're like, this is also weird.
Listen.
But it's got rap in it, so we like it.
As a black man that has been a part of this community for my entire life, black people gotta stop saying shit that ain't originally made by black people. Weird. We gotta stop doing that shit. It's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
It's corny as hell. If something is different, let it be different. If you don't fuck with it, don't fuck with it. Don't listen to it.
Unless it's Cardi, then you should just slander him.
Unless it's Cardi.
I don't understand.
At this point, yes, we slander Cardi because bro does not care about his child, does not care about his wife, does not care about Nardwuar. That is the most important one. Does not care about Nardwuar. Get out of here. Nobody likes you for that.
Bro, listen. He's not Cash Cardi anymore. I don't care. If he was still Cash Cardi, I might be defending him. Actually, no, I wouldn't. If he did this, if it doesn't matter what era you do this in. If you hurt Nardwuar, I don't.
If you try and dub Nardwuar like that, you're wild. You want to know what makes it even worse for Cardi?
What?
Him dubbing Nardwuar, as far as we know, is because he wants to keep this whole mysterious vamp cool persona. Nah, you're corny.
You're so corny, bro. Shut up. You're so corny. Because bro.
Here's the thing. Nardwuar at this point is so respected, not even just in a rap game, in music in general. So fucking respected.
That was such a bad choice, bro. What did you think you were doing?
Like, nobody's coming
You're
to
not important
like people
enough.
ain't coming to your defense. Like, even if Michael Jackson was still alive, you know he's taking that interview with Nardwuar because that is literally career suicide not to. So it doesn't matter
Also,
what your
because
image is.
it just it just allows you to like show yourself as a human being.
Yeah.
Like without half the Nardwuar interviews we have, you wouldn't be able to see like these rappers as humans. You get to see them freak out when Nardwuar brings up their past that they
Yeah.
thought no one would ever know about. Like you just, I don't know. Nardwuar is just something different. Nardwuar
It's
is
also
our
very
Serviette,
rare that
and we appreciate
Nardwuar
him for
brings
that.
up shit that's like you really
Listen,
cannot talk about.
He's not Vlad TV.
He's
bro.
not bringing up like
not
dark
Vlad TV.
past shit. He's just bringing up names.
Also, one more thing, Vlad TV is a Fed.
not for real.
Vlad's a Fed. Vlad's a Fed.
On God.
I'm sorry. I don't care how much you want to defend yourself on the internet, on Twitter, Vlad, and you want to say that you're not the guy from the YNW Melly court case. That's you. It may not be you, but that's you. We all know you're a Fed. You ask the craziest questions, like, where were you at this night when your best friend got shot in the
Like,
same
that's
vicinity as
wild.
you? Like,
So the shit that Vlad
What?
has is insane. Nardwuar don't ask that shit. He literally goes. He'll bring you a gift too. Bro brings you a gift of some shit that you liked when you were like 12. Like that. That's it.
like, dude.
Like the worst thing bro's gonna say is the name of one of your friends when you were like 15.
Like the Denzel Curry thing, bro.
Yeah.
Remember Chauncey?
Chauncey.
Like that's it.
Like
Chauncey, the man from my blog. Like that's all
Yeah.
you're gonna get, bro.
Like he isn't gonna
And
deep dive into what Chauncey did or whatever. You just gonna say their name, watch you react,
Listen,
and then next question.
And he's not even doing it for himself. He's when he says we have you're Denzel Curry, for
Yeah,
example. We have to know because he helps us to see you as a human being. He
Yeah.
helps us to see you as not just an artist but a person. Like it makes so much more sense about the Pink Tape after giving him the Rob Zombie post. Like he
Yeah.
allows you to see these artists as a person too, not just an artist.
Like just seeing if Lil Uzi, for instance, if Lil Uzi just drops like all the music that he drops like Pink Tape and shit, without shit like the Nardwuar interview where like, oh, Rob Zombie, like Lil Uzi, from those Nardwuar interviews, you get to see his inspiration. You get to see like why he like his whole aesthetic, like that rocker boy type beat that he's on, or that they're on. Sorry, but you get to see that whole aesthetic, where it came from, like all that shit. It humanizes them, like it gives them a persona outside of just music.
Yeah. I think that's about it. We don't want to go too over.
Yeah, we don't
have
wanna-
a lot of time
yeah.
left.
But
We're pushing 2 hours by accident.
yeah,
My bad.
it'd be like that.
Um.
But
So the announcement.
big announcement.
We will be doing 2 episodes in real life together in Canada. We will be in Canada. I leave for Canada Friday morning.
Yep.
I arrive in New York around middle of the day, and then we drive to Canada, and we get to do stuff in Canada. We get to go to Montreal and Quebec and a lot of other places. But you will be getting at least 2
those will
episodes
be
out of us.
Live episodes where we are
That
not
means
on
I
Discord.
have. Yeah, that means I have to prep my notes weeks in advance. So let's have fun with that. So I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited for
Very
it.
excited. We get to do it live. We'll
Do it live.
Yep. So we are very happy for that. We're very excited. We hope that you guys enjoy them as well. Episode 5 and 6, they will be specials.
Yep.
We're pretty fucking
And
hyped
peep
for
that
that.
Patreon,
As well
'cause
as
I do not doubt that there will be some weird ass bloopers that
bloopers, as well as probably a few vlog stuff.
happen. Yeah,
As
maybe.
well, probably just some short, like 10 minute
yeah,
vlogs.
10-minute
Who knows?
vlogs.
It'd be kind of crazy. Kind of crazy if we did that.
It will be insane. But yeah,
I'm just saying, it'd be a little bit crazy.
it'll be a little crazy.
Just a little bit peculiar.
A little out of our depth, if you will. But
Yeah.
that's the big announcement. We're gonna be doing some some live recordings, us in the same room.
I'm so excited for that. Sorry.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Also, another reminder. Again, we out here feeling like shills because we are shills.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, say what you want to say.
Comment
down below. Say what you want to say. I want to hear your voice. Talk to me.
Join the Discord. Come speak with us. We really want to talk to you guys
friends,
about what you
please.
enjoy. I don't need friends. I just need loyal servants who can join my military organization to take over the Empire and crusade across space. And I just want to be a chapter master of a Space Marine chapter, man.
Bro's trying to cosplay Ezreal. Anyway,
I would.
Anyway, that's the end of this episode of Indiscriminate Reasons. Thank you for coming. Thank you for spending time with us.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow.